looking towards what Vitality want to take away. As you mentioned before, in the first champion select is more about not priority bans, but like taking away the comfort picks and taking away what bothers you. And then, of course, you need to take away the Vladimir, take away the Rise, and pretty much the general consensus on what's strong.
Yeah, if you're new to the series, Olaf was played by Cabochard yesterday twice, banned that last game as well, so they don't want to run into that. Nukeduck had very early priority on Lissandra last game. You may see a shift there though, as Vitality have the counter picks in the mid lane potentially.
Very possible. Looking towards the next ban from Vitality is going to be that Rise, so taking both of those off the table from themselves. And last ban coming in from ROCCAT.
I wish the players had this music in their headsets too.
Yeah, it would make would make it a lot more intense.
I mean, Sean's words must be, you know, a lot more inspiring.
That's true. You can really sell the speeches that people make. Of course, you had the great ones from Yamato. Kind of would love to hear more from the coaches with this music, but unfortunately, I don't think it does quite the same job as white noise, because sometimes there's a drop and it's just like, oh hey, how's it going?
That's the other team's thinking right now. Great, good
fantastic.
To know.
Well, last band's going to be Irelia aimed at Cabochard, taking him off the carries, kind of yeah, get rid of that problem before it starts, because Cabochard coming into a meta where carries are a thing is a scary thing indeed.
Yeah, he still has the likes of Nar, and he actually played a decent Gragas. It was just more, it was not about his individual ability to play the champion, it was more so about syncing up the engages with the rest of his team. Trundle right now eliminated too. I think Vitality did the same last game. Trundle was definitely banned. Just a strong individual 1v1 pick, plays well to split pushes.
First pick is going to be Caitlyn coming in for ROCCAT. Steelback had a killer game last time.
Yeah, I would just love to see like Vitality draft Ashe Zyra instead of Ashe Karma. I feel that lane is just annoyingly strong right now.
Well, Zyra still available. Of course, has not been banned out in this game. Saw a bunch of it yesterday. Vitality looking for their first rotation. A bunch is still open. What are they looking towards? Played Lissandra last time onto Nukeduck. Had a really good performance. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite make all of those team fights work with the rest of his team.
Yeah, they can steal away the Kindred at least this time, because that was annoying later in the game.
Yeah.
It just simply bought too much time. 4 seconds in that Kindred ulti is a long time to have to stall around. And they're still looking to lean on the core of their composition with his Lissandra. Oh! That's just a tribute to Parang.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah, like, hey, some guy in his team plays Jace.
Yeah. Would that be helpful? No, not this time. Going to be Lissandra and a Kindred eventually locked in there, so Nukeduck just also taking that one away, and also great to see the Kindred denied from Airwaks in this game. ROCCAT, next 2 pickups for them. What roles are we looking at? Well, we only have the ADC picked up right now.
I mean, usually you match jungle and pick support here, unless you really have a priority on top lane.
Yeah, and they are going to do just that. So Gragas picked up, and the Janna Caitlyn, once again, great peeling, and similar to last game, but this time more knockbacks, lots of knockbacks. If the first one doesn't work, throw a second one in. If that doesn't work, then run. I
mean, the value of Janna goes up a little bit, because you can predict a tornado on where the Ice Guard is going to land, and you can actually knock up Lissandra, and then you either step away from her, or you one-shot her, or you can just instantly ulti her out, knock people out of the ultimate from the Kindred too, so really good pick here. This time I like it a little more, also because you already have a little bit of engage built to like Gragas. It's not full on defense.
And then Vitality really using all the time that they can use in this champion select. Only 10 seconds remaining on their next 2 pickups. How will they match ROCCAT? I want to see what Reje picks up this game as well, because last time had the Ashe, saw the very aggressive Vayne yesterday. We'll lock in the Ezreal alongside Bard, so more of an aggro bottom lane.
Yeah, aggro bottom lane. It's still pretty hard to play into Caitlyn Janna though. It all depends if the Bard use connect through creeps or not. That's going to be the decider. Ezreal should be able to farm maximum distance. Let's see if they put enough priority on actually hitting the minions, generate the push, and then start poking on the tower. But there's a lot of options in terms of setup when you have Tempered Fate available. Lissandra's loved, you know, playing and combining with Tempered Fate, as well as portals to just move around, ice calls over the wall. A lot of hidden mobility already in this Vitality lineup.
Yeah, kind of disappear for a second and just appear in the middle of the enemy team. And ROCCAT, last 2 pickups, 20 seconds remaining on the clock. They have a mid laner to pick up and a top laner, unless they flex the Gragas up there.
I mean, they could just go Viktor, Ekko again. I liked what they did for the team later in the game. They were just lacking a little bit of engage, but I think Gragas at least solves just a tad.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same composition, but because the Kindred was taken away, they'll pick Gragas instead. And Yeah, so Prime going to be on the Ekko once again. Betsy had some fantastic ultimates in that last game. Also really great gravity fields. Lockdown, Cabochard a bunch in those fights. And waiting for that last pick from KaSing, paying tribute to Zillion, of course.
Now what is Cabochard looking at? I mean, Maokai is still available if you really want the team fight champion.
Yeah. Or will he put on his carry shoes? I don't know what shoes he's wearing today.
He's wearing the same shoes as yesterday, the green ones.
The green ones?
The ones
that would suggest Maokai.
50% win rate. Right now they have a 33% win rate.
No, that's not good. Those are some unlucky shoes. Should
wait, he
look
locked
for
that? No.
Neon
Oh,
ones.
he's still picking.
No, still picking. Yeah. It's
like I heard somebody in the crowd making noise, disappointed at Rammus, and I was like, no. Okay.
Not Maokai. He's going to match his shoes. They are not carry shoes, apparently. They are tank shoes. And that will be the full composition locked in. So, okay. Basically the same comp from ROCCAT.
I'm a little scared for Vitality, because do they have enough damage in the late game? People are like, yeah, of course they have, but like, Ezreal takes a while to get going. Lissandra falls up a fair amount, especially compared to Viktor, you know. Of course, you guys are going to have a lot of damage. I guess the Kindred can make up for a lot of it. But I'm just afraid that Steelback goes untouched in the backline. Once again, he gets a QSS and Mikhails gets picked up.
I mean, Maokai can get on him once, but then there's a Gragas ult, there's a Janna ult, there's Mikhails. There's like so much to get everyone off him, then I feel like we could see very similar fights to what we saw in Game 1.
If it goes to 45 minutes. But I think before that, Vitality definitely have an option to winning the game. I mean, double teleport comp with Maokai Lissandra, the mid-game spike on this team comp should be enough for Vitality to at least take an option on closing out the game. They should have mid-game advantage.
I mean, for sure, they'll have that advantage, but they need to push that advantage and actually close out in the mid-game.
Yeah, not chase the support.
Yeah, not chase the support and not just lose a massive fight and lose Baron, because that will result in what happened last game. So,
I mean, you can chase the support, take a risk if there's no Baron up on the map, you know, Elder Dragon, you know, both objectives so good for these guys.
Very, very risky. Well, we have the team compositions once again. Jump on Twitter, use the hashtags, hashtag ROCWin or hashtag VITWin, if you think is going to take Game 2 in this best of 2 between Vitality and ROCCAT. We'll be heading on to the Rift once more and see if this will result in the 2-0 for ROCCAT, or it will go 1-1 once again for these two teams. Vitality, best case scenario for them is to make that happen. Everyone off the starting block and will be fanning out into their jungle.
Like a fan.
Like a fan.
Are you a fan?
I am a fan. Well, I'd like to see more action in the early game, so I guess I'm not a fan.
So you're not a fan.
No.
I'm also not a fan of the early game that happened last game. Personally, would like to see more blood.
Indeed, that would be fun. Because it all kind of happened all at one time, like in the late game, everyone started fighting a bunch, and then it was...
yeah, the uneven distribution of wealth.
Yeah, pretty much. I keep saying a bunch a lot. I don't know if I'm thinking about bananas, but I don't know.
Is that what a troop of bananas is called? A bunch?
A bunch of bananas. I don't know what the collective term for bananas is. Is it a troop of bananas? Now I'm just thinking of like a circus act with bananas. The Wandering Circus.
The Wandering Circus of bananas?
Yeah.
Well, it would be more entertaining than another lane swap. Come on, guys. Give us some lanes.
Yeah, please. KaSing and Reje are in the bottom lane. And it's going to be Steelback and Reje in the top lane. So, yeah, once again, lane swap initiated by ROCCAT.
This time, I feel like they're blind swapping, though. Because I think they have the edge. Although it's hard to judge with these guys. It also depends on just how good they are in these particular matchups.
Yeah.
Again, though, ROCCAT benefit from slowing the game down, opening up the map. Sincerely, like, if they can avoid just any pickoffs and fighting and just trading objectives to get to the late game quicker, obviously in their favor.
Yep, that is a true statement, Krepo.
Especially since it keeps Bard down too. Bard in lane swaps is so annoying because a lot of his value is kind of gated around him being level 6 and then roaming mid. And then you're like, eventually he'll get level 6, sure. But if he has to approach mid when he is level 6, enemy mid laner is like 9 or 10, you just get blasted when you walk up. If you're like level 6, enemy mid laner is like barely 7, you know. If you have a really good game going on, or maybe just 8, then obviously you can do a lot more.
Let's see if KaSing gets those roams off. Grenade up into Cabochard will slow him down by 1.5 seconds.
And get that stack, you know, spell keys. All stacks matter.
All about tempo in this lane swap.
That's not tempo. We may use tempo for literally everything in the game.
Look at this tempo that Airwaks is going to gain over Cabochard by taking away these.
Airwaks stole the tempo raves.
The small chickens.
Yeah, the tempo raptors are down.
Yeah.
That's how you trigger Probably too.
Oh yeah?
You just call everything macro.
Good to know.
He's not really a biggest fan. We talked about this yesterday too, so if you're hearing the story twice, too bad for you.
Yeah, have to sit through it again. I haven't heard it, so...
yeah, he just hates the word macro being overused,
Yeah.
so whenever you talk to him, it's like, you like that lane swap? From a macro aspect, how they took the macro CS and then they took the macro tower, and he just goes like, screw you, Krepo. I'm like, okay.
Well, it's interesting how like MOBA lingo has kind of evolved because it means one thing, but then because something is so similar, you just call it like the term that you already had rather than make up a new term. So it's kind of hard unless you have like a thesaurus. But Nukeduck is very overextended in the mid lane. Airwaks is going to line up the E flash, but he's going to jump to safety. MightyBear's going to come in, and neither of them are going to die. MightyBear gets a bit more damage down. But
he hit a creep. He must have hit a creep. There's no way that Nukeduck survives this. That is a pretty big mistake right here. Out of nowhere here, breaking the lane swap pattern. Suddenly jungler with double buffs paths in mid as we were talking about macro. But then he makes a micro mistake instead.
Oh man. Oh, MightyBear, he's going to take away this, but Reje is going to try and contest. That was a little too close. Smite goes down at 27 HP as the tornado comes in, but Reje was not able to secure it. And MightyBear will back off. Let's take a look at that mid lane gank again because Nukeduck is very far extended.
He's low. E flash here. Enhance.
Oh, he hit him.
Yeah. No, was that Nukeduck? I'm pretty sure that was still a creep next to him.
No, Airwaks definitely bumped backwards.
Then he has no damage.
Oh, bot lane, we're enhancing on this action. Got a TP coming in from Nukeduck, looking to claim a kill onto Steelback. He's going to come back and try and finish off Cabochard. Not quite going to happen. First blood to Nukeduck.
Yeah, ain't no party like a bot lane party. Double TP comes down. Steelback cornered out. Tower dropped here. Really good play. And first blood on the side of Vitality, despite Nukeduck almost dying there in the mid lane.
KaSing, 1v1 against Airwaks.
So satisfying.
Yep.
Just like the motion.
Throwing the penguins. Yep.
It's all in the hip, you know? The bar autos.
All in the hip? Interesting. Not from the wrist. I feel like there'd be a lot of wrist action going on with the... I actually don't know the optimal way to throw a penguin. I've got to be honest.
I actually never noticed he throws penguins because I hate that skin.
Really?
Yeah. Not a big fan.
What is the best bard skin, Krepo?
I don't even know what it's called. It's like the second one.
The second one? What? Elder Wood?
Yeah.
The foresty one?
I mean, you could call it whatever it is. I'm going to be like, yeah. If you call it Banana Bard, I'm like, yeah,
I was referencing the Bard Master himself. You don't even know the name of the skin.
No, just lock it in every time.
That's disappointing. Well.
I'm not one for cosmetics.
Okay, I mean, I can understand that. But you still go for the skins? You're not like Faker, where he just like straight up goes for the classic skins all the time.
No, because I hate the animation on the health pack on the first one. It's so hard to tell when it's done.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Coco. Can I say? I'm not in love.
That just blows me away. You don't like penguins. You don't like Coco. I can understand why you don't like the skin, but that's just messed up. Oh, and Cabochard is in the top lane rocking the Maokai skin.
No, that's a nice skin.
Now that is a good skin. I think we can align on that one, Krepo, for sure.
Alignment.
Yeah, we do have alignment here on the casting desk. MightyBear, he's on his way into the top lane. He's on the prowl. Bear's not necessarily known for the stealthiness, but currently he is unspotted. Unseen. Now he's seen. He goes up to the tower and will take this one away. And Reje's there as well. We have a lot of animals, actually, on the Vitality squad. We have the Danish shrimp coming in with the bear and penguins from Cabochard. They're just throwing a zoo, basically.
Gotta be careful with that nomenclature in solo queue, though.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of high-elo players throw that around, but not for different reasons. Anyways, this lane swap kind of split up. Steelback and Reje are dealing with the tower on the bottom, as opposed to Vitality. Moving more so as a team. Got to keep track of experience right now. Parang has a small lead on Cabochard, mostly because obviously the teleport play that Cabochard did towards the bottom lane.
Yeah. Cabochard also got the 400 gold from the tower as everyone left him, so team playing around that, giving him the extra gold. Has also gone for the corrupting potion. Bot lane is slowly being pushed in.
But look at the gap though between Steelback and Reje. A lot of CS lost here and shared within the team for Reje. Nukeduck now taking a lot of damage. He'll be fine, but just got chunked out. But Steelback is 26 CS ahead. Or 24 rather at this point.
He is. That's some good maths.
Yeah, I was just double checking in my head. I'm like, don't, if you correct yourself, you better be right, boy.
Yeah.
Still 24 CS ahead, so that is nearly doubling what Reje has put together on an already slower carry here. So Steelback's going to be happy. He probably has BF sword in base again, and then go for the really smooth BF into Hurricane build. No budget shenanigans where you go like pickaxe into Hurricane.
Yeah. None of that.
None of that.
It's going to be the BF sword.
It's going to get the premium cut of AD carry builds. The filet mignon.
Not the rump steak of ADC builds. I actually saw a game yesterday where people were like going towards me and it was like, oh yeah, Hurricane exists. And then picked that up later. But yeah, that is the most optimal pickup. And a call as well for Steelback. You can see Reje is doing what all Ezreal players do, which is pick up the tier. And we'll get that one stacking up. My tiers are fully stacked right now. There's not a lot happening. There's a lot of lane swaps, a lot of macro play going on in this game.
I mean, we had 2 fights already. I think we need to be readjusting our expectations.
Oh, yeah.
This, you know, you learn how to be happy with less in lane swaps.
That's true.
You learn how to truly appreciate the brutality of a 5-on-5 fight in the early game.
Very true. Very, 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 very true. Airwaks, he's in the bot side taking away the Krugs. Now he's going to stealth his way into this bottom lane.
Yeah, not spotted.
Nope. Call him... I don't know. Call him Solid Snake? I'm not sure. I'd make that statement if like Kalista was in the game and then you have the Sentinels. It's like, oh.
Not quite sure that one.
I don't know either, Krepo. I've kind of lost it. But Betsy, he's still farming up the mid lane, has the CS advantage again, like we saw in the first game. But it was a whole lot of farming, and this game is not going to be too different.
Yep.
KaSing rotates into the mid lane and will take away this ward. And Nukeduck will get his blue buff as well, so going to be happy with that.
Vitality just biding their time. Once KaSing hits 6, he can always roam mid and just put the ulti on Betsy. You know, we still have to use his flash, maybe cleanse out later. Can't go back into that portal. It's a one-way street only. That would be a little annoying if you bump into each other mid-portal.
Yep. High five on the way.
You can actually cross portals. If you have enough CDR, it happened to me once.
What happens? Does the universe explode?
No, you just put down 2 portals.
Oh.
But if you put them in C, you can actually jump from one to the other. It bugs out sometimes.
Really? Interesting.
I don't think it's intended, but it happens.
Ah, well, we'll call it a feature.
Feature.
of
Creative use of gameplay. That's what they used to do in World of Warcraft. Anyways, teleport coming in at the bottom side. Who is it?
It's going to be
both of them.
Cabochard and Nukeduck coming in here. MightyBear clothing him from the top side. Steelback is so dead. Airwaks is going to have the ultimate on top of him. Good ultimate will zone away the rest of Vitality. Here comes the portal, but no one wants to take it. Yeah,
that's the power of double TP on a single ward. You'll see it coming out. You're gauging, can we survive, you know, in a scenario where an extra person gets added to it, and then of course 2 come out, your expectations get shattered, and you have to really think quick.
Yeah.
But no amount of quick thinking could have helped there. Vitality with another good opening. And they get Parang's teleport down too, so that's a really good play by them.
Oh, Airwaks. I mean, all he wanted was the big chicken, but he's going to go away hungry. Airwaks is actually going to live. He's good to go. MightyBear and KaSing couldn't finish him off as the rest of his team was coming in there.
Just good poke there, asserting their dominance in the jungle. Reje is catching up 2 now, 14 behind. Like Cabochard lands first, Nukeduck second. And another, like, Vitality is definitely sending a message with these plays. It's like Steelback, you know, you got player of the game. Right now, if you want that, you'll need to carry hard because you're already 0-2 in 0. So definitely needs to be a little more wary of all the attention Vitality is giving him.
Yeah. Like, you feeling good about that play of the game? Player of the game? He did make a play of the game last game.
Multiple plays.
Yeah.
Also in the game?
In the game, on the day. Reje will take away these crooks. Small one first. Optimal play.
Yeah, KaSing's still looking for level 6. And that is just... It's so annoying for supports in the lane swap meta when you constantly have to step away from lanes because you don't want to soak experience because you won't come back to influence the matchup that you're stealing from. So if you're stealing from your top laner, you'll never come back to help him and he'll just slowly snowball into oblivion. So you're rendered quite useless. Definitely wants to pick up some extra chimes, get to 6, and then he can go mid. But at this point, by the time he'll reach Betsy, Betsy will be like level 10, 11. And then, yeah, you just get blasted.
Oh, KaSing. It's like, help me with this drop. Give me some experience. But unfortunately, whoever kills it, yep. Maybe KaSing will pick it up. No, MightyBear wants to stack, so.
The equivalent of who smelted dealt it, but then for jungles.
Yep. Whoever jungles gets the camp. Reje is over a ward, rather. 12 minutes into the game, and Vitality, with not a lot going on the map, will prioritize the Herald here and will give it to someone. And who's it going to be, Krepo? Who's going to take the Herald?
I mean, it almost must be Cabochard at this point. Every single service is like tick-tock, tick-tock. Yeah, Rift Herald buff.
Meow.
You can read up on the changes to it right there. Mini static shift building, as well as damage reduction when isolated. Obviously, that's going to be for the top laner split pushing in the side lane. Maokai also got a little bit ahead of counterpart Ekko right now. Parang was ahead earlier, but because of the good teleports and the fact that Parang was forced to match, Cabochard now getting a little bit ahead.
Nukeduck He's being pushed out in mid lane here. Betsy's getting a good bit of damage onto him. He's only away back to the turret. 1-0 and 1. Oh.
You need to punish him as he goes in for the Q trades. Because if he gets the shield up for free and then follows up with another R2 laser, it's just too beneficial of a trade here for Betsy. Betsy walking in.
Yeah, both the mid lanes have a lot of gold to spend though. Nukeduck has like 2k, so he wants to go back and turn that into items and actually make use of that gold. 2-0 in this game. Vitality are not ahead in terms of gold.
Yeah, not ahead in terms of gold. 1,200 gold lead here on Steelback compared to Reje. Also because he took down a tower earlier, no? 400 gold and then bounced it. So that's a large lead here. So he will always win those individual duels. That means they're giving up lane priority on the side lanes for both of them if you ROCCAT. Because Ekko should be able to push out Maokai. Caitlyn wins against Ezreal, and any added member doesn't change that balance. Bard is not going to influence to the point where Janna and Caitlyn will not still win. And Viktor's pushing up mid, so that's why we saw, you know, Airwaks kind of jungling at enemy wolf camp, because he has the liberty to do that because his lanes are pushing around him. Very tough position for Vitality.
Yeah, and last game they had a significant advantage and threw it away to ROCCAT, but this time they didn't even have that advantage to throw to ROCCAT, so we'll see what happens in this time. The stealthy bear is on his way top lane. He's going to find Parang and already set up the mark for Kindred, so he really wants this kill to get the extra damage over to him. Going to flash after Parang, but it's actually slowed out from the Time Winders, so a bit of a weird flash from MightyBear. He was really hungry for that stack.
Yeah, Parang realized it just in time. Somebody was coming out to get him. Obviously, very hard to capitalize on the pushing lanes if you have just so much fog of war. So, but this time Parang backs out well. ROCCAT was trying to do this against Vitality last game too, where they consistently tried to pick off Nukeduck on the side lane.
And to be fair, MightyBear marked him like 8 seconds before he went into the top lane, so it was like, I wonder if there's someone after me. Yeah, so he was already walking back. A little more defensive. It's reverse mind game, because next time he'll mark Parang again and then be bot lane. So he's playing the long game. Either way.
And right now we see AD carries moving to the mid lane. It's a little different because as we talked about last game too, Betsy playing with Clem doesn't really want to go on side lane. So KaSing, Steelback rather needs to play on side lanes or just group up. So Betsy siege down tier 1 in mid. But he has a bit of wiggle room in terms of farm. Steelback that is. He's 40 CS up right now. And if you look at what Reje is doing, he's really just making sure that Steelback can farm. So the defensive vision right now is catered around giving Steelback access to the side lane farm, because ROCCAT again is comfortably scaling with his Caitlyn Viktor late lane.
This is truly the darkest timeline. The first dragon of the game is Cloud, by the way. So we are 15 minutes into the game, and no one has taken dragon because no one really cares about it. That was an on the way ping though, so looks like KaSing and MightyBear are after this dragon. I mean, they're taking one for the team because it means that the next one will be something more.
Well, Vitality should definitely go for this dragon. If not, just to clear it off the board and hope that a better dragon spawns the next time. Yeah. Because they really need to force ROCCAT to at least step into some of these objectives and then maybe outplay. They really need to make use of their mid-game spike here. Double teleport as well. When people funnel in for objectives, that's when you can get behind them. And some really good flank wards. But ROCCAT, they seem to be on top of things.
KaSing is walking forward. This attempt of fate lands onto Betsy. There's actually a barrel already charged up there. Oh, it doesn't get the timing on the cosmic binding. Razor's going to come in here. MightyBear's very low. He has to use his own ultimate, but there's no way he's getting outside of this, and ROCCAT will find an easy kill.
I mean, Betsy was super calm in that entire exchange. Even if the cosmic binding hits, instant cleanse flash, worst case. So Betsy was actually just using that as an opportunity to strike back, and Vitality, there was no teleport from Nukeduck. Cabochard wasn't really in the greatest position to punish. Like, they just weren't in synergy.
Yep. It was also mechanical missteps as well, because KaSing just didn't land his Cosmic Binding, just simply didn't have the timing down.
Yeah, but even then, there's still cleanse available, because look at it right now. So, like, Cabochard has to step out of that gravity field. He gets out, or he gets hit by the edge. Then he doesn't commit at all. He could have dodged a lot of damage there by committing, by spamming W. But instant TP from Parang. Just what a mess of a fight here, started by Vitality. I mean, your main secondary engage is stuck on the bottom lane, didn't opt into the fight. So that feels like, yeah, grasping at straws here for Vitality.
Yeah, it really feels that way. 17 minutes into this game, no one has gone for the dragon just yet. Herald, of course, went over to Vitality, and now Steelback has actually come in here. You can see Reje is just like surrounded by traps.
I mean, look at the gold. Steelback has twice the gold that KaSing has access to this game so far. He is now over, yeah, he's nearly 2,000 gold ahead of his counterpart Reje. 1,800, give or take.
Steelback horizoned him in this game. 18 minutes in. Yeah, he's really not in good shape, but Steelback is having another good setup to this game.
Yeah, ROCCAT is allowing him.
KDA.
Yeah, he's allowing him to farm despite being targeted with 2 roams, double teleport. He's still getting access to a lot of farms, so his team's setting up vision so he can do that. You even see Betsy shifting to the bottom lane. May get punished for that though.
He's going to flash away, and Nukeduck used the ultimate on himself. Scared from the burst coming out from Betsy.
Yeah, and if there was a world where Betsy at least had to cleanse in the earlier exchange, he may have dropped here, because to give Steelback the mid lane farm safely, Betsy's not playing on side lane. Low mobility champion like Viktor gets picked off very easily, but because both summoners were still available, he gets out of that. He didn't even have to use his cleanse, ironically.
Nope, not at all. Top lane, Parang is going to keep on pushing. Still kind of butting heads with Maokai up there. Bot lane, Betsy is still pushing up. MightyBear's going to find Razors rotating to bot lane. A lot of damage coming in from the mounting dread. And he's going to back away and to the rest of his team. So he's good to go for now.
Yeah, they try to catch up. Nukeduck right there, looking for an E-flash from Airwaks, but then lurking in the brushes was MightyBear. Another engage here, Steelback getting caught.
Again, timing is off by KaSing. Second one in a row. Not something you expect from KaSing.
No, really gifted mechanical player, but stage nerds must be getting to him or just not familiar with playing the champion.
Wow.
I think he was too. What happened there is that he's so focused on getting the angle right. So if you're new to playing this champion or any like setup champions, the first thing you need to do is like okay, I need the angle so he gets stunned into the wall, right? And he's so focused on getting that right that whenever he gets into the angled position, he feels like he ran out of time. So he will send out his Q immediately. He's like, okay, got the angle, go. But he's not counting in his head the 1.5 seconds from that tempered fate.
I mean, it's difficult. It's something you don't really think about too much, but humans generally find it hard to evenly think of like seconds in their head. So he actually needs a stopwatch, so he can stop the stopwatch with.
It's all game feel, and it's all comfort, because a lot of players, when you talk to them, they don't go like 1, 2.5. They just go like on a feel or on a bit of a sound. And maybe it's also just like, for example, the playing with the different sound volumes, you know, white noise. When you're used to the Zonia sound gently going down in your head, and you have like almost a subconscious sound trigger associated with it, then it makes it a lot easier. It's all these little things that add up, and that's why having a pro player that plays consistently well in scrims as well as on stage is definitely impressive. Because you have a lot of these guys that play well in scrims, and people go, yeah, okay, and why can't he translate it to the stage? It's just a different keyboard and monitor, right? Like the same keyboard in a different place.
Yeah, that's not how it works. I mean, we saw that from the longest time from ROCCAT actually with previous lineups. So yeah, being a scrim team versus a stage team is a big thing. Maybe KaSing just needs to learn the 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
2 Mississippi. I mean, maybe he just like botches it entirely. But it is a more interesting, broader discussion. You know, going from stage to playing, all these little things that influence it. But right there, yeah, it seems like he was very, very focused on getting the angle right, and then kind of rushed ahead of the decision. Because against good players, you need to land it on the exact frame perfect, as they say it in the speedrunning community. If not, botched attempt.
Or in the Smash community. But we don't have that too much in League of Legends.
There we go again.
Tempered Fate, but this one, it didn't even land.
Yeah, it came from kind of far. It's really hard, obviously, to get a position where you can freely cast the ulti without getting counter-engaged on or spotted. But to do it from like 2 screens away generally means that people can step out of it. If they don't expect it and they take half a second to realize what's going on, you can still get them. I like that they keep trying though, Vitality, looking for picks.
Shot,
but I want to see them set up a play where maybe the ulti is used as a zoning tool. It's like either you get hit by it or you have to dodge forward. That means their double TP can strike, because Vitality, as we talked about, they need to hit their mid-game spike right now. If not, they're going to start falling behind.
And Steelback is still farming. That was a ward, but he's still increasing his gold totals. He's on a 2-item powered bike right now. And he's already looking scary. He just drunk down KaSing. Betsy's on his way top lane to meet the wave from Maokai. And all that really does is remind me of the Anamanaguchi song. But he's just spent a lot of his game farming, honestly. Cabochard's just been chilling in top lane, just beating away at these minions.
Yeah, Reje went for kind of the early power spike build with the Triforce. Muramana turned into Triforce as opposed to...
Yeah, changes to Triforce, of course, on 6-11. More attack speed, no crit anymore.
See the Ardo.
Yep, got that CDR. So better for some bruises in top lane. We're seeing more carry top laners come back in. We're even seeing Parang once again go for the Rod of Ages. So a bit more damage on him in the top lane. But of course, ROCCAT banned away 2 carry top lanes from Cabochard in this game, taking away Reje and Olaf.
Yeah, and Betsy's build also catered to just peeling in these fights as well, you know. I mean, pretty common to see this Twilight Crystal Scepter on the Viktor, but just a lot of slows here. Imagine if you're Vitality, you have to walk towards Steelback, going through Monsoon, Howling Gale, Viktor, Gravity Field, lasers, some barrels flying around, you know, Parang's Q, Time Miner, right? I don't know the ability names.
It is, Time Winder.
But yeah, it's just like so many slows here, so they definitely need to get access to flanks. Get behind enemy lines, flash W, Frozen Tomb from Nukeduck. If they come from the front door, it'll be too easy for ROCCAT to kite. And there is a timing window, which generally means before Mikhail's Crucible. Otherwise, it gets even more complex.
True. 2 and 1 in this game. We've had 3 kills in 24 minutes. Reje is received some damage from Steelback. He's just testing how much damage he can do to tier 2 ultimate on Ace in the hole. Steelback he's still farming. We've said this multiple times, but it hasn't stopped in this game, and at some point Vitality are going to feel it. As the Tempered Fate onto Airwaks is going to open up into a fight. They're going to pull the trigger. MightyBear is chasing forwards onto Raze. Nukeduck's going to come in. He's battered away to that tower. Airwaks is going to surely fall. Finally goes down to the ultimate. In fact, that was actually Raze, and now instead he falls. That's a 2 for 1, and Steelback will fall to Reje, who comes in. Betsy's coming into the mid lane. He's unhappy with this result so far. That's going to be the Lambstress by keeping both of them alive. Parallel conversion from the sidelines will not result in anything. That is a tower in mid lane and 3 kills to Vitality. Yeah,
Vitality stormed through the heart of the fight. They get 1 pick off 2, and then they just go on through. Betsy and Parang both stuck on the side lane, so a lot of the damage and the peel, all those things that we were talking about, were not present there to help ROCCAT beat just the unrelenting assault here. The battery almost on Steelback. Eventually, they got him down. Especially again, good opening here because Airwaks loses dash, and then MightyBear is hitting Race, which is really good. Nukeduck gets tossed around. Let's see. The ulti does go on Airwaks, takes down Raze with the AoE, and then Reje just shifts in there. That's obviously stronger power spike. Even flashes, I think, to secure the exact location of the Q. And then Parang and Betsy were nowhere to be found. So this is ROCCAT getting lulled into the same false sense of security that Vitality did in game 1.
Yeah, maybe something about the blue side, something in the air on that side of the stage, I don't know. Swamping up here, but 3-3 in towers has been evened up by Vitality, but those kills have swung the gold into their side of the map. Banana goes off screen, and hey, that's Banana I was talking about earlier.
The Banana.
There we go. But,
not quite a troop.
No, not a troop of bananas. Only one in this game, no Soraka, unfortunately. ROCCAT are now in the mid lane, all grouped up. And now I think they're thinking about sending people to the sides, and yeah, we have another Cloud Dragon on its way.
Yeah, but I think Vitality want to use this Baron to force a play. They're talking about it, but they haven't really cleaned out the vision because
I wasn't lying.
Because you see that Vitality have Cabochard hiding in the base, so they know that they need to get something done here. So they're looking for those little wards right side of mid probably. You get a teleport on. Looking to pull the trigger right about now, I think.
MightyBear took a lot of damage from that Baron. He's very low, but they have called out Betsy. Airwaks over the wall. Explosive Cask will save him for now. Nukeduck comes in. Reje is going to finish off Betsy. Surely he's going to back off, and finally he goes down. Nukeduck will find the ice shot for the kill. Everyone's going to back away into the Lambstress bite from MightyBear to shut down over onto Nukeduck, and Steelback has arrived. Double kill coming out. Cabochard jumping away onto Airwaks, and KaSing is trying to cover his escape. Barrel comes down, and they'll all back off.
Yeah, beautiful setup. But KaSing, can you please learn how to count to 2.5? This is the 3rd consecutive Q that he's missed on a Tempered Fate setup. This was a beautiful setup from Vitality. They sprung the trap, great Tempered Fate, but then the follow-up was abysmal, and it may have been the game here. Cabochard desperately trying to get to the wall here. Steelback going out of the pit to fight Cabochard. This is a really good move here. And KaSing has to disengage. What a counter from ROCCAT, but it was, the error was on Vitality's side.
Yeah. Once again, that was a disappointing fight. There's 2-shot barrage, shot in the dark really to try and secure that one. ROCCAT will get away with it, and they'll all teleport back to base. Once again, ROCCAT just picking up this game off a mistake from Vitality.
Yeah, they don't want the Baron, they just want to use it to draw people close. Tempered Fate was great, and then here, just... I think he's so focused on finding the Q and the connection to the wall that he's just not hitting Betsy, and Betsy survived that on like 10-15% HP. That's enough to have one slow from Barq and an auto, which would have been enough to just take him down. So I think the priority seems to really be on the angling for KaSing as opposed to the timing, and it's costing them too much.
Really disappointing from a player you'd expect way more from.
I mean, I've gotten schooled so often by this guy. He's such a mechanically gifted player, such a smart player in terms of timing, awareness, movement, but he just doesn't seem to be in his element on this Barq pick.
Well, of any game and any caster to call him out, it would be you.
I mean, like any caster can call him out on that. That's a sweet temper trade in the queues. They're just trying to delve into the rationale, maybe why it's happening, as opposed to say like
mechanics.
You're boosted.
Well, Vitality, they do have a lot of animals on their team, but none of them are helping them right now. Moral support in this game is not going to win you one. And ROCCAT with this Baron pushing down this mid lane. Well, the minions are gone for now, so he's going to take another minion stack. But look at the damage Steelback's getting onto this tower. The trap line, the long range, and Reje with the shields.
He's even saving some more traps, because he can just hug one side. He doesn't need to cut everything off. Stepping in on every wave. I think we'll see Cabochard move up on this wave. But yeah, good zone. I love the zoning here from ROCCAT. Really smart, stepping forward at the right times.
Yeah, really well played. ROCCAT going to take that tower down and now move on to the inhibitor itself. Looks like they're gearing up to back away after this pickup, but Vitality, there's so little they can do there. They step into the trap line, they're dead, so just couldn't respond. And ROCCAT, they know how to play from ahead. Yeah,
at this point, it's worth for ROCCAT to probably take down the Cloud Dragon, because it'll just indicate, or it'll guarantee that the Elder spawns as early as they can, while they still seem to have a lot of map control. If they're afraid of Vitality still playing towards their mid-game spike, that's a little early.
They're not playing.
They're next game, guys.
Soon. Don't worry about it. Anyway.
It's like the weirdest time to have a unicorn. Yeah. I'm like, what's going on? Do we just like fire
play?
Is this like a fire drill? Do we need to get out of the building? Why is the crowd going up?
We're just being tested. Yeah.
Anyways, Elder Dragon.
Yeah.
Vitality. Yeah, they could maybe. That's maybe their one ticket back into the game. When is that Cloud Dragon going to spawn? Anyways, this is next Dragon Cloud. It's still a while away.
Yeah. I can say with confidence over 2 minutes.
Over 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Definitely take that out as soon as you can, I think.
To try and get that spawn. But ROCCAT are going to siege up the top tower. Like, these towers are just made out of paper. Like, you don't even really need the trap line at this point. No one's really going to defend it from Vitality, and you can just stand there and take the tower.
Just a habit at this point for Steelback.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the traps to spare, right? Like, they're coming off cooldown so quickly. MightyBear's going to pick a little damage onto Airwaks and jumps back in, so it takes a little bit more. He's down to half already. KaSing, again, not connecting any Cosmic Binding. I've got to say, those Qs from KaSing have been more like Comic Bindings this game, to be honest. But,
it's a good ulti.
Played onto Steelback. Can they capitalize? Here's the TP into top lane.
Reje always steps forward, too. At this point, you almost need to just temper fade Reje plus somebody else. Nukeduck is having issues dealing with KaSing, though.
Well, Glacial Path, he'll take it to safety. KaSing will just let him go for now. There's the trap line again. Nice spacing out from Steelback. Will be helping my OCG, but forcing Vitality back. KaSing looking off to the sides, but
Brag's probably going to TP on a minion here. He's basing, but doesn't really coincide with the push, so a little bit late. We'll need to wait for maybe next wave.
There's one coming, maybe another 10 seconds, but he can TP to that minion that's being hit by the tower. That tower's so low, though. Like, Vitality, if they're going to pull the trigger, they have to do it on this push or just concede the inhib.
Temper Fate is down, Frozen Tomb is down, so I think this is going to be it.
Yeah, not a lot of tools, really, for Vitality to work with. He's in the hole.
Yeah, there we go. Invulnerable minion, tower being sieged. Counter threat here from Vitality.
Well, this is going to be the engage, but Nukeduck instantly evaporates. MightyBear is still staying alive. He managed to chunk down Steelback, but he has the help from his team to take him out. There's the double kill for Steelback. And look at the regen as well. There's no way they can take him out. KaSing and Airwaks are keeping everyone Vitality occupied, not just allowing the triple kill for Steelback. He's going to find the next one onto Cabochard, and this is just going to straight up be the clean ace. Another quadra kill for Steelback.
Yeah, another quadra kill for Steelback here, enabled by his team, but what a stellar performance in both games here, and finally they break the ties. ROCCAT finally go 2-0.
This is the 2-0 now coming out from ROCCAT. Finally they find it over Vitality, and Vitality handed their first full loss.
Yeah.
Well played.
Jumping out of their seats. they kind of felt it coming though, always in control of the second game. Not so much the first game. ROCCAT had to struggle really. A tie would have been fair, ironically. But yeah, both teams here have some things to work on, but ROCCAT definitely coming out as the better team.
But still, different from game one. ROCCAT, yes, it was another like small throw from Vitality, but they were more in control of this game. And even though there was those 2 ganks coming in from Vitality onto Steelback, they didn't shut him down. He was farming for like 25 minutes. And as soon as he got into those fights, he just taught everyone a new one. And what could Vitality do? That last fight was a 5-0.
MightyBear still getting used to the handshakes.
Yeah.
Such a jolly guy, so I don't think that was intentional at all. Yeah, it's just, I mean, we gotta criticize where we gotta criticize. The Cosmic Binance did not connect on the Tempered Fates, but other than that, there wasn't any plays linked to it though. Even if they connected, I feel like the TPs could have been synced up a little better. ROCCAT finally realized, or maybe were forced to realize, that they need a little bit more engaged in their draft. So Airwaks, a lot more presence in this game as opposed to the Kindred game he ran. And I like what comp they built here. Very good meta comp on 6-11 by ROCCAT. And the Janna pick is a little bit weaker on the tier list, but it works when you play around such a good player like Steelback in these fights. Everybody's working together to make him shine.
Yeah, ROCCAT, it was very clear they knew exactly what to do. Once they were ahead, once they were in those fights, once they were in everything that they needed to do. And yeah, pretty much that's the tale of the game, really. Steelback, 2 great performances on Caitlyn, sieged well, and Vitality just couldn't fire back. First game was obviously that big mistake, which resulted in the Baron. Second game was an accumulation of smaller mistakes.
Yeah, neither of the quadra kills are indicative of his performance, in my opinion. It's like they were both kind of fights that were already won and then resulted into a quadra.
Yeah.
But it's just his ability to farm safely a lot of the times, come back from a 0-2 start, completely unfazed in this game, and just his positioning in the first game, especially in the later game team fights, was stellar. Steelback played well. Betsy just did a lot of work too, you know, so much damage dealt. Let's see if we can get the damage graphs here. Overall, ROCCAT worked as a team.
Yep, pretty much. That is the story of it. And it's just surprising, really, to see Vitality come in, get those 3 ties, and then immediately get handed a loss on their 4th day of games. So, yeah, ROCCAT, though, looking very good, standing up to the best of the teams and now taking that 2-0 over Vitality.
Yeah, it also shows you the kind of the system that we're running here. ROCCAT just have now got as many points.
Got good.
They got good, and they got as many points in one single game day as they had the entire season so far, you know. Yeah. 3 ties gets you 3 points. Just a single victory, 2-0, clean cut. Also 3 points. They're now, you know, doubling what they've gathered together and getting closer to the leaderboard.
Yeah, working their way up, and it's just so interesting seeing like the teams and expectations for the teams change as we've gone on. I want to take a look at the final fight that happened in that game specifically, and it was just getting rolled over, honestly. Like, Vitality had to pull the trigger at some point, and they chose this time.
They pulled the trigger right before Nukeduck's ulti was available too, so he just instantly got splat in the background. Then Temper Fate connected, but it was only on Steelback, and everybody kind of fans out away from him. He takes the Temper Fate, and then they step forward for the zone. We see Reje continuously stepping forward. Betsy kind of goes untouched because everybody, including ourselves, are talking about Steelback, but this is still a late-game Viktor with access to a lot of farm, and he was dealing plenty of damage. I'm just going to have a look-see. Damage dealt to champions. Like, he was...
a lot of damage.
Yeah, it was just under Steelback, but he was still pulling his weight there, dealing about as much damage as the highest member on the Vitality squad, and that was actually the Kindred.
Yeah.
So Vitality could not get that damage in from Lissandra and Maokai, and that's something we talked about in Champs League 2. Mid-game spike, but after that, not really working. If you then fall behind in the mid-game, really hard to make this roster work unless you get those double teleports rolling, and they didn't.
No, they really didn't. They couldn't really put the pressure down in that mid-game. That was a massive problem for them. But still, 2-0 over ROCCAT today for ROCCAT. But either way, we're going to send it over to QuickShot, who is sitting by with Airwaks.